everyone. Welcome again to this JK's 8% formula session. This is the trademark of our trainer and coach today, JK. Just a quick intro of him before we start. So most of you know JK or Karthikeyan Jawahar. He's an engineer, an MBA, a Six Sigma black belt, and a CFP, a certified financial planner, which is the highest certification in the financial planning domain. He plays the roles of a consultant, trainer, and a mentor, helping individuals like us to understand the intricacies of personal finance. Over the past 12 years, he has conducted over 10,000 hours of training and has also trained over 10,000 people like us, including me and us. His clients include Titan, L&T, TVS Group, Hindu Publication, and others. His presentation style is very informative, humorous, insightful, and stimulating, encouraging people to think and, even more importantly, to take action. In fact, that's what drew me towards JK. In fact, I'm already taking action from the previous workshop that was conducted 3 weeks back. I'm consulting with him for my health insurance and to enhance my for my life insurance, and also to come up with a comprehensive plan. So as we mentioned at the beginning, he has developed the JK's 8% formula for financial success, which will be the main topic for today. He is the founder of Financial Wellness Group. He is also the director of Karma Innovations and Solutions. His personal mission statement is dream, then make them come true. So whatever your dreams are, he is here to make them come true. And the his last personal hobbies: an avid reader with interests like running a half marathon, acupuncture, sudoku, Rubik's Cube, 3x3 and 4x4. He enjoys his married life with his 2 children. He is a regular blood donor and a registered eye and a skin donor. His current mission is to launch 1 million families like us on their journey to financial wellness. So I present you JK. JK, please take over.
Thank you, Ganesh. It was a very heartening introduction. Thanks a lot. So, welcome everyone to this session on JK's 8% formula, where I'm looking at the millionaire's key kind of this thing. So, let's quickly go into the presentation itself. So, this is me basically. So, before that, let me tell you what this session is not about. This session is not about selling products to you. I'm not an agent for any company, so I'm not going to be there to sell you any specific company's products. And whatever analysis that I'm going to share with you are generic analysis, where I compare different companies' plans, and those are getting summarized and then shared with you. And for implementation and consulting and coaching, I can offer a charged consulting, where the actual plans are getting implemented, and I also ensure action is taken, as Ganeshji was mentioning, which is my key specialty. Otherwise, just thinking and without doing, it is not going to lead to anything as such. So to begin with, I've been talking about financial wellness, and my website is also called financialwellness.in. So let's understand what is this financial wellness to begin with. So I define financial wellness as achieving our financial goals while maximizing joy. So the question comes up: is it? The way I see is that over the last 16 years of my consulting, I see that all of us do achieve our goals, any family. It does not happen that I don't buy my car. It does not happen that I don't have build my house, or I don't educate my children, marry them off. All those goals are achieved in one way or the other. But the issue is, while I'm doing this, am I maximizing joy, or am I submerged in something called as the IO effect, where end of the housewarming ceremony, after the guests and all have gone, am I still left with the joy saying, wow, I'm now living in my own house? Or are you left with something like, Arey Baba, I need to now continue paying this loan for the next 25 years. What do I do now? In my consulting, I've seen that most of the families are left with the second thing, which says, how do I manage the next 25 years because of this? Yes, I come to into my own house. Yes, the marriage of my son is done, but the burden is so much. How am I going to manage the next few years just before retirement? So these are the thoughts that we are left with. We are not left with the joy of saying, wow, I've done this. My task that I take on myself is to ensure that we achieve our goals, and that at the same time continue with that lingering of wow, not that IO effect. So that is what I promise for my clients. So how do I know that I have achieved financial wellness? You will be able to take financial decisions and action showing signs of ease, confidence, and energy. What will not be, we will not be burdened by the debt or lack of emergency cash or worrying on tax or last moment surprises related to markets or other things. So now a quick question to all of you. This is more related to why this program itself. I'm just launching a poll. I would love it if you can answer to this. Few short questions. All that you need to do is choose those points.
And this is an anonymous poll, so we won't know who's answering what. Only the summary will come out at the end, and it's pretty short. It'll just take you just 5 questions. It'll just take you a minute. This will help JK determine how to take this session during the course of the session. So yeah, we would like all of you to answer this, so JK knows how to take forward this session. Thank you.
Thank you, Ganesh ji. Almost 55% have answered for this. I will just leave it open for another 15-20 seconds.
So while after some of you have finished, and if you are waiting, if you have any questions related to the questions that he is asking, or regarding JK's 8% formula sheet, please feel free to post it on the chat window, and JK can take it during the course of the session, or he will take care of it at the end.
Fine. So I think I'll stop the poll for now, and we'll see the results of it. Most of you have answered the JK's 8% formula budget sheet. Maybe half of you. We'll discuss about this because that is one of the key stepping stones to financial wellness. Is the budget levels just enough, close to half of you in deficit, 30%, in surplus, 30%, or around 20% of you. Term insurance, only 50% of you have taken it. None at all, 15%. That's surprising, because I was expecting that all of us will say, yes, I have insurance, but not the other one. Company-led insurance only around 50%, and emergency cash, okay, that is a heartening. More than 50% of us do have some emergency cash, but others don't. Okay, so that's good. Thank you all for sharing, because that gives a fair idea as to where I need to focus on more, where I can spend more time on this. So this program is designed based on actually requests from many of the participants from my earlier sessions, where people were asking for some models on what is that I can spend on. What is it that I need to invest on based on my age, based on the different situations and things like that. So, till date, I've been saying that, no, I cannot give you any numbers on those, because it is all customized for individuals. But then when the request kept coming, then I said, no, it's high time that I do some proper research, rather than just saying that it is going to be different for different people. Yes, it is different for different people, because each family, each one of us is different. So that way, all our situations are going to be unique. But there is something called as a median score that we need to look at in statistics. So this research that I did covered all my consulting groups since I became a CFP, and this is where it is the result based on which I have developed this 8% formula. So what is the benefit of this model? It becomes a ready reckoner. So I can very quickly find out whether I'm on the right track, whether I need to do some changes, and those kind of things. So it is very convenient for me to arrive at. It's more of a thumb rule kind of a thing. So that is a very good one, and it's very quickly tells me whether I'm spending too much, or sometimes I might even be a miser. Am I being stingy? Gives me very good ideas on that. And this particular formula can be an excellent start for people who are beginning their careers, particularly for freshers. And again, at the same time, for seniors, people who are more than 35, even going up to 55, I've seen it can give them a jump start, a quick start towards their retirement and other things. It's not a jump start, it's more or less a quick start before they retire. So that way, again, it is a fantastic tool. So,
okay, 1 second. Can I stop the poll? Can I stop the sharing?
Oh, I thought it is stopped. I've gone to my sharing.
Okay. Yeah. Let me stop the sharing. Yeah. You please continue.
Okay. Maybe I guess it got closed only in my screen. I've been showing particular screens actually.
Okay. Please go ahead.
Yeah. So. So what does a millionaire do? So that is something that we need to understand first. And this particular formula again leads to managing these secrets. So we all are talking about millionaire lifestyles and all those things. Okay, so let me play this quick video. Is it starting? This is typically a Tamil movie called Vanam. So the protagonist, his main challenge is going for a New Year party with his girlfriend. And this guy is coming from a typical Dharavi type area. And his girlfriend has asked him to get a ticket to a New Year event where it costs 40,000 rupees. So look at, I couldn't get the clip. I've been searching for since the morning. So just look at the audio, how it goes.
40,000 டேய் என் கல்யாணத்துக்கு 40,000 ஆவுடா நீ ஏற்கனவே கல்யாணம் ஒரு
So they're talking about 40,000. Okay, and this other friend of him is saying, see, even if I are totally drunk and even get admitted in a hospital, we may not even have to spend that 40,000 rupees. The other guy says, even for my marriage, I didn't spend that 40,000 rupees. What are you talking about? So the other part of it is, look at this girl. She's a very rich person, right? Why didn't this girl take the ticket and take her boyfriend along with him? That is a question. If you are a millionaire, you are not going to spend your money on these kind of things. That is the understanding that we need to have. So the millionaire father has taught the girl very clearly, get a boyfriend to sponsor you to that place. They will not give you that money for that. You get it? So we need to be clear on where I'm going to spend my money in. So that is very important as a millionaire. So millionaire's lifestyle goes like that. Now coming on to the next video, and that the last statement from Rajni is the most powerful thing in that particular video itself. If you are happy at heart, then wherever you are going to be happy. And if you are not happy at heart, then whatever you might have, you are never going to be happy again. So the millionaire lifestyle comes from that attitude. So the other part is related to, so how do I support myself to get that kind of an attitude? Does not money play a factor there? Yes, it does. It definitely does. But we don't have to really be jumping after only money, because whatever may be our income, we can lead that millionaire's lifestyle. So that is the key thing here. So what I've done here is I've calculated a retirement, quick retirement planner for a 25-year-old person. Okay, with a retiring age of 58 years. Current income, I've taken a very entry-level person, maybe just graduated kind of thing. Typical PG without experience, just a fresher coming out into the market, going into some of the corporates. 25,000 rupees per month. So this person has 33 years more to retire, but to maintain the same lifestyle because of inflation, look at what is the monthly requirement at the time of retirement. To maintain just the same lifestyle of 25,000 rupees, I need to have 1,29,000 rupees by the time I retire. And to get that kind of monthly return, I need to maybe deposit some lump sum in a bank and get it out as a interest after I retire. So how much do I need to put in a bank? At that time, I need to have something like 2.2 crores of rupees to maintain my lifestyle. So where would somebody who's just earning that 25,000 rupees go for 2.25 crores? And it is not too far away. All that this person needs to do is start on a monthly investment again of 2,000 rupees. And where does this, I mean, what percentage is this of the total? 8%. Now do you see? And you will find this 8% coming up many times again during this session today. So you just start with 8% of your salary being set aside for your retirement, and your retirement is taken care of, whatever may be this money. So now supposing the person is earning 50,000 rupees, what do I do? Again, set aside 8%, but the corpus that you need to maintain the same lifestyle is almost 4.5 crores. That is what you need to have in hand by the time that you retire. But all that you need to do is start by saving just 8% of your in-hand salary, what you get in hand. So it's taken care of. Investment for your children, again taken care of. We'll come to that when we go for the sheets. So what do I do for my vehicles and house purchase of my house? All these things again will be taken care of. And what is the millionaire secret here? Millionaire secret is that they set aside their money for all these things. They don't spend all their money for all these things. That is where creating a surplus comes up, and making investment our first expense comes up. And again, this is another thing which is very, very important, because again, for the participants today, we see that only around 30% or 50% had gone in for term insurance plans. So how much, this is something that a millionaire always does. In fact, today during COVID times, there are plans which have come up from insurance companies which covers insurance up to 100 crores. So who are those people who are going to be looking at these? We are talking about those millionaires. Companies are coming out with special plans for millionaires for 100 crore covers. So which means when a company is designing a product, a special product for 100 crores, imagine how many people will be taking that up. So which also means that all the millionaires are taking care of their life insurance. It is those who are only aspiring who are not doing it. They are putting it into endowment plans. They are not putting it into all those other money back plan, children plan, and all those things, and avoiding the term plan. So the term plan is the right one. So now again, coming back to this, how much insurance do I need? So the last calculation we did for somebody who was earning 50,000 rupees. So let's do the same for this person. 50,000 rupees monthly salary. Personal expenses, I'm going to deduct, okay, I need to fuel myself if I'm the vehicle. So these are my personal expenses. Like I might have some my own habits. I smoke, I drink, I spend time out with my friends. I love eating. I spend on my own, on myself. So maybe I'll make this 5,000 rupees, which I spend on myself, 10% of what I earn. And then I have some personal savings also, which is typically towards my own expenses. Maybe once in a year I go out on a trip, on a bike trip, or maybe on a pilgrimage trip, those kind of things. So I set aside this amount for myself, and only the balance I'm giving it to my family, which is this 42,500. So this is the economic value that I give to my family members. So what does this mean? I don't say balance, I don't say reminder, I don't say whatever other things. I say economic value. Why do I call it that? That's because whether I'm there or not, my family is dependent on this particular money. Because all their dreams, all their current expenses, all their future goals, their current lifestyle, everything is dependent on this particular money. Because I've already taken out my own monies. So it includes my my spouse's retirement, it includes my children's education, their marriage, all those things. It's dependent on this money. So whether I'm there or not, this money has to go to my family on a monthly basis, just to maintain my current, their current lifestyle. It does not include for inflation. It does not include for even the loans that I've taken. So this is the bare minimum that my family needs at all times. So that amounts to 5 lakhs in a year. And that means, again, if I'm not there, can I just take up a 5 lakhs rupees life insurance plan and then say, yes, I have life insurance. And with that 5 lakhs, can my spouse manage this kind of income? Because this 5 lakhs is my annual money that I give to my family. So if the insurance company gives only that 5 lakhs, it means it is only 1 year's expense. Do I love my family only for 1 year after I'm not there? Does it make sense? No. So what is the actual amount that I need? I need 85 lakhs. I need 85 lakhs minimum life insurance, because this does not include the loans, because at any point in time, the debtor becomes the first person who has the claim on all my properties. Somebody who has lent to me. I'm a borrower. So if I've borrowed any money, the person who has given me the money, that person becomes the first person who can claim that money. Plus this does not include inflation and all those other factors. So this is the minimum thing that I need to have. A millionaire will definitely have insured himself for very high levels. And talking about health insurance, those of you who have taken a separate health insurance plan for yourself, great. You've done fantastically well. So don't just depend on your company provided health insurance plan, because it is not enough. Most of the companies would have given mean, pre-COVID, typically something like 5 lakhs or 4 lakhs, sometimes even 1 lakh or 2 lakhs as your health insurance cover, which in today's life is just not enough. And the more aged you are, the more risky it is to go only with the company's thing, because by the time you retire, there is something called as pre-existing diseases and exclusions and all those things come up. So you need at least 4 clear years where you have not been fallen sick, where before some of those claims become admittable, which means by the time you are 30 or so, you definitely need to have your own life insurance plan. I mean, health insurance plan. And today for COVID related times, I would always advise that you have something called as a top up over and above your company provided health insurance plan, which is very cost effective, and we can take it up very easily, typically for COVID covers and things like that. And loans and EMI management, are we ensuring that the loan that I take actually pays me at least a portion of it? We take a huge burden in terms of building our own house, and we sit in that, which means it becomes a liability. So those are things that typically a millionaire does not do. They ensure that money works for them. So we need to shift into that particular thinking, and this 8% JK's 8% formula helps us on that particular route. So this particular, I mean, today's session, for using the formula is based on these assumptions. I'm assuming a single breadwinner family, not a case where both the husband and wife are working. But if it is a husband and wife working family, then it's better actually. Income that I've calculated is income which is receipt in net of all the deduction. I've done calculations for 25-year-old and 35-year-old person, but it is applicable for all age group. Only thing is, over and above the 30-year-old age group, we might need to the pension plan that we are or the retirement plan that we are looking at. We might need some lump sum contributions. Otherwise, till you are 30, you can manage it very comfortably with starting investment at that in this period itself. So what is this JK's 8% formula? You would have already seen the sheets. It will be there with you. So we are the fundamental of this is that this 8% is the nearest to 1 month's salary on an annual income. So if you divide if your annual salary is 100% divided by 12, you get 8.33. So I've just rounded it to 8. And that 0.3 again, they will all accumulate to form 4% actually, which is for our discretionary expenses. So that also has a purpose. It's not just thrown away. Gandhi kanakku kedayadu, as they say in Tamil. So it goes into certain purposeful application, even that 0.33% also. And this 8% again, it's very easy to remember in our mind because it's 1 month salary. So if you have a thought saying, okay, I'm able to see this particular washing machine in this particular white goods store. So, and there is one more which is there with slightly more features, which maybe 1 liter or 2 liters capacity more. And they say that they claim that it will consume lesser water, but it is slightly costlier. So how do I take a decision whether I can spend that more? So look at your sheet. Does it fall into this 8%? Then yes, you can go ahead for it. It becomes as simple as that. So so many of our life decisions in terms of these kind of purchases and all those expenses, we can quickly take a decision on whether to spend or to reduce it to fit into the budgets and other things. So that gives out a very clear this thing. So all the budget parameters of this particular sheet are either multiples of 8. It can be 2.5%, 2.5 times, 1.5 times, half times, 1 time of that. Those kind of things. They're all multiples of it. So they become very easy to remember and also to implement. So let's look at this in detail. So look at these multiples. So personal expenses, I've given 1 multiple. rent, which is typically a burden. And in case you are looking at a housing loan EMI, you can consider this 3 times itself as your EMI component. So that again will fit into that. And for the EMI part, there is one other part here. So you can combine this rent and also this particular EMI part. So that will give you somewhere around 32%, 4 months of your annual income to take care of your overall EMI part. So don't go for your, what the banker is giving you. Typically, a banker would say, I can give you loans which are up to 50% of your net salary. That is earnings only for your banker, not for you. So limit your maximum housing loan payment only to this rent plus this particular part. So that is how it helps you. Not more than 32% to go into that. Living expenses, 2.5 times, 20%. Household expenses and gadgets. So this is where I come in, 8%. So your annual salary, one time, 8% of your annual, which is 1 month's salary, you can spend on all these other things. Unplanned expenses, again, some part of it. So these are things which are going out of your hand. These are expenses. They're not going to come back. Those are your expenses. Let them go out. But these things in green, these should actually be forming your minimum investments on a monthly basis. So that is the power of this tool. So many times people ask me, how much, I'm aged so much, so how much should I save? This will help you on telling you how much you need to save. So this is the minimum again, because again, I will show you when your income actually increases, these certain of your expenses will come down. You don't have to spend so much to get things done. So that way, that surplus, again, you can take care of for achieving the first crore much more faster, closing off your housing loan much more faster, investing more for your children so that maybe instead of going into a top institute in India, maybe they can go abroad for their studies also. So you can manage all those things. You have much more discretionary income when your overall income also increases. This is for the bare minimum income category. So this calculation typically applies for income up to 40,000 rupees or maybe even just 25,000 rupees. More than that, you will have much more in terms of your discretionary income. Now, let me go into a typical calculation for somebody who's just earning 20,000 rupees per month and see whether this formula, this 8% formula fits in. So this is how it goes. Let me zoom it up a bit. So in terms of outflows, insurance, my friends, is an expense. So don't look at savings plans, investment plans, and all those things. I only look at insurance as an expense, and it is an expense that you do to protect your loved ones. So it is purely an expense. It's not going to come back. Let it not come back, but you need to take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. And in case I'm not there, I need to take care of my family members. That is the only purpose of insurance. So that is the purpose with which I've considered these two plans. So you would find a term plan for the husband. I'm considering only the single income source. If it is a lady who's been is the single income source for the family, then the cost will be lesser, because ladies in India, they tend to live much more longer compared to the gents of the country. So the charges on term plan is much lesser for the ladies. So the minimum life cover expected here is 34 lakhs. So for this, for somebody who's age 25, the cost is going to be just 9,000 rupees on a yearly basis. I've included so many other riders and other things also. For a 30-year-old person, it's going to be just 11,000 rupees. And again, here I've considered 2 parents plus 1 child case with 3 lakhs as cover for this particular family. So again, we are talking about 6,000, 7,000 here and 9,000 here. So when we look at this overall, for a 25-year-old person, we are talking about 16,000 rupees only for as the total annual expense for taking care of their insurance needs. So what is 1 month salary? And we are here we talked about health and life insurance, which is 8%, okay, which is 1 month's income. So they can spend up to 20,000 rupees the actual expense is only 16,000 rupees. For a 60-year-old, for a 30-year-old person, it is only exactly that, 8%, matching that. So let's now look at investments. Now the child is, let's say, for a 25-year-old person, maybe we have for their children to come to graduation, maybe we have sufficient time. So let's say I have 20 years to go for that. I'll be left with close to 16 lakhs as in cash. For a 30-year-old person, maybe the child is a bit more aged. So we have 8 lakhs to take care of the child's education. Similarly, for the retirement fund, for the younger person, we have 1.22 crores taken care of for the retirement. For the person who is 30-year-old, much more shorter period to for retirement, but again 66 lakhs to take care of it. And now I need to buy a house, so I need to create a corpus, right? So that is what we are talking about here when we are talking about creating a corpus. Yearly, just an 8% or 1 month's salary to go towards creating a corpus towards buying for your down payment for the house, maybe a bike, any of your such things for the short term. So these are not going to go into long-term investments like mutual funds and other things. Here we are typically talking about a bank recurring deposit, 6%, 5%, only that. But if I'm again looking at 2 years to go into that, some 40,000 rupees. Why should I take a bike loan to take that? Buy it with this itself, right? If I'm looking at a child's school admission, which today is again pretty costly. So when the child is born, start this and we have that money with me by the time the child starts going to school. So that is how we can look at our planning. That is how powerful this particular tool is, JK's 8% formula. So and again, so 25K is your income. You don't need to spend that much. This is what I was telling you. When your income increases, then you get more discretionary expenses. You can get to spend more on your whatever other things. Your basic needs are getting, the core needs are getting covered at less than that 8% itself. 8% would come to 25,000 rupees, but here for a 25-year-old person is able to manage with maybe 10% less than that. So this is the advantage here. 40,000 earner person, you're not going to look at a significant increase in cost. There, for a 20-year-old person, we were talking about only 34 lakhs. Here, we are talking about 68 lakhs of cover, but still, look at the premium. Only a marginal increase in premiums here. So, which means, again, you're going to spend only 50% or 30% of your monthly salary on this. So, much less than 80%. Maybe only 4% on that, which means, again, means 4% is available for you for your other discretionary expenses or your long-term investments. Look at this. Somebody who's making 1 lakh on a monthly basis, then isn't this amazing? You're going to spend only 50% of your budgeted amount on this. And if you continue to invest for your child, what we had allotted, we are talking about 1.8 crores for the child by the time she turns 20 years of age. All that you need to contribute was 1 lakh, 1 month's salary every year for this particular purpose. Or was it 1 month or 1.5 months for the child? For the child, we are sparing 1.5 months our salary. So just spare 1.5 months of your salary. If you are a 1 lakh per month earner and you are left with 1.8 crores by the time the child turns 20, I'm sure you can even sponsor her to Harvard with this kind of money. You don't have to worry about this at all. And your retirement is very comfortably taken care of. We are talking about 4 crores here, 8 crores here. It's comfortably taken care of. So this is the, my friends, is the power of JK's 8% formula for financial wellness. This is applicable for all income groups, as we just now saw, and all that you need to do is tweak for your typical case. And here is a special offer that I'm coming up with for all of us participants. This is our company that we are launching now, goldennest.ai. AI stands for artificial intelligence. So this is a project that we've been working on for the past 3 years. And I'm very happy that the first part of this particular project has been completed, and we are now offering this to all of us, friends and relatives and all of you actually who are our part of our friends team, for free, the completely free access for all of you who join in till the 1st of September 2020. And this, you will have complete free access for the first 6 months, which is till 31st March 2021. And what is it that you can do with this particular goldennest.ai? I'll just show you a brief glimpse of what all you can do. For now, you can start with your budgeting on a monthly basis using this. You can create your budgets, you can track your expenses. I'm just logging into my this thing. So this is the screen. You can look at your insurance plans. All these are as of now disabled. We will slowly be starting to add all these things to you shortly. Very easy tool to capture almost all my expenses. So let's say what I did today, I had taken up some petty cash for the company expenses. So I can put it under unbudgeted. It was unbudgeted because I spent it for my company, not on my personal this thing. I had given 20,000. Is it recurring? No. I can add a remarks given as petty cash to company, and then say save. And it gets populated here. So I can track so many things from here. Different categories we have added based on our users. Household expenses, again, you have so many categories out here. And I can add my income, of course, personal, so many categories, right from beauty care, food, haircut. We have not left anything out, friends. It's literally anything and everything that we can think of. They have all been listed here. So it becomes a very quick tool to carry around for you to track your expenses and then compare it with your budgeting. So this is a very key thing for all of us. We think that earning more money is the key to financial wellness. In fact, whatever might be your earning, if you don't know how to manage what I have, then whatever I earn, it is of no use. Add two more zeros behind my income, it is not going to serve me if I don't know how to manage what I'm getting today. So this is the key thing for any financial wellness this thing. So now we are giving this today as a big gift for all of our friends who are there in my group and who are participating today. So check into goldennest.ai. You can sign up on your own. It'll ask for some basic details, and you can sign up immediately, and you're done. So we'll be adding so many other features for over the next 3 months, and all that you will get access to without any charge when you are logging into this now, when you're creating your account in this particular period. And Mr. Suresh has asked a question about data privacy. Yes, it is a highly secure site, and it is run by CFP, me. So we will definitely take care of your data privacy. It will not be shared by anyone. In fact, even it will be residing there only in your server part. So those of you who want to take care of your implementation part for your financial wellness programs, these are our, this is my current consulting charges. You can maybe start with a silver plan where we'll talk about 4 goals planned, where I take care of your goals in implementation, basically looking at mutual funds, RDs, deposits and everything. See, the power that I have as a CFP is that I'm not an agent for any company. So if a bank RD is the right one for you, I can recommend that. So that is the power that I have. Otherwise, typically, advisors tend to modify life insurance plan to suit your things, so that they tell so many things and we are finally left with the wrong one. So those kind of things never happen with me. You pay me for your wellness. That is my income. I'm not dependent on your what do you call it? The commissions that come as an agent kind of a thing. So that doesn't happen here. So budgeting snapshot can be will be done. Life insurance and health insurance, I'll review, analyze, and implement it for you. Loans management, I'm very good at that. We have done programs for some of the leading companies in country, where we have brought out people from debt, in severe debt, I would say. Like we had this particular company where in a company where there are 1,500 employees, around 100 of their employees had their ATM cards where their salaries are getting credited with their loan sharks. So what these loan sharks used to do is that on the day of the salary getting credited to these employees, they will go to the ATM, collect all their money, deduct their, keep their interest to themselves, go to the employee's house and give back the money. Balance money. So if you are earning 30,000 rupees, the loan shark will take 20,000 rupees as his interest and then give the balance 10,000 to the family members. And that is what they are left with for that month. From that situation, today we have almost all their families getting back their ATM cards. So, I'm touch wood, I'm sure none of you are in those kind of severe debt kind of a situation, but that is my expertise. We have brought out people from even such severe debt to a positive financial wellness situation. So loan management will be part of this. Asset rationalization in terms of different real estates, gold, and all your other mutual funds and other things, that's taken care of. Coaching and guidance on plans. It's not that we just prescribe something and then just go ask you to go and implement. Unlike a doctor's prescription, we sit with you, discuss, explain things. So that way you will learn while you are implementing this. So you'll be on the go. And if you want continuous implementation support also, you can think of the gold plan, where I'll be working with you for 1 whole year to implement your plan. And then so this ensures that your plan gets implemented, you are there on track for your goal and all those things. So that is part of the gold plan. And there are people who even ask for stock market inputs. Let's say, I also want to support support me with increasing my income. I'm okay with the stock market kind of things. Yes, I can give you stock market tips. What we do is we give you weekly stock market recommendation. This reaches your inbox on every Saturday evening, so that you have time to prepare, and that will be applicable for that particular week. So in case you want that also apart from your monthly implementation plans, then I have a plan which is the platinum plan. So this is what I offer in terms of the support. So that's it for today. I would I have a feedback form which I will share it in the chat here. You can fill this up while I take your questions. So some of the questions which have come up already is Mr. Stanley Samraj asking, tell me the inflation calculation for this model. I've taken 6% as the inflation, Mr. Stanley, for the current rates. Mr. Feroz Khan has asked, can you take into account income tax on salary, the monthly expense and EMI on loan? Feni, yeah. So this is already built into the 8% formula, because what I'm calculating here is your final net of taxes, net of deductions in hand. So I'm not calculating this based on the CTC, which the company typically talks about. So this is after all your deductions. So I would consider this income as your post-tax income only. Wow, that's a nice quote from Milton, Mr. Vicky. Yeah, Mr. Ganesh again has the same question. Post-tax, yes, it is post-tax. So I think answered almost all the questions on the chat. Maybe you can now switch on your mics in case you have any questions. We can take it on the mic itself. Or if you want, you can post it on the chat also, please. In the meantime, I would love it if you can click on the form link and keep me posted on your feedback. So this is what we have discussed today. The millionaire lifestyle comes with planning, not by spending. So there is another quote which says, if you love to spend, you are never going to be a millionaire. But if you love to invest, you are millionaire from now. So that is the basic thing. So plan for, the question is again is, when you are talking about a millionaire's lifestyle is, do you plan for your investments? Do you plan for your risk management? And also do you plan for your liquidity? There is something called as emergency cash, which we definitely need to look for, particularly if you have senior citizen parents living with you, or if you are yourself a senior citizen. Then anything can happen to us at any point in time, and we are looking at hospital admission cost itself of somewhere around 50,000 rupees. So admission cost is, yes, you have your health insurance, yes, you have your company insurance, all those things. But all that will come after you get the approval, after all those documentation is done. But at the time of admission today, you need some cash in hand. So you need to have that liquidity in place. And again, typically COVID times and other things, we need to have at least 6 months of expenses as cash, semi-cash. It may be in a sweeping account with your bank or something like that. This will give you a buffer that even in case of something temporary, like losing a job, you won't be frustrated. You don't have to jump into the next available job. So you can take your time, maybe go to some courses, relax, and somebody calls you for an interview, some remote place, you can always catch a flight and reach that place to get that interview done. But if you don't have that 6 months expenses with you, then you are really bugged, and you'll tend to jump to the next available job, which you may not like at all, even at a salary cut and all those things. So these are, and this part is very important, the action part. Or many a times the financial plans or financial wellness thoughts, they fail because of this lack of implementation. So this is where Team Financial Wellness and JK comes in, where we will handhold you for not just the planning part, but we could implement, monitor, modify, and you achieve your goals, and you ensure that you enjoy financial wellness. Achieve your goals while maximizing your joy. So over to all of you for your queries, please. You would have seen in this particular illustrations that we have seen, generally when people talk about crores of rupees, they look like something which is very remote. It's not kind of things, but you would understand from these calculations that all of us in reality are crorepathies. They are very close to us, and all that we need is, and that by itself is not a goal, I would say, to become a crorepathy. No, I don't believe in that. I believe in achieving our goals and maximizing while I maximize joy, whatever that goal may be. It's not just those numbers. We are much more than those numbers, actually. Yes, Palaksha, I'm a CFP, a certified financial planner. I'm a CFP since 2008. As a CFP, I guide, I mentor, I train people on personal finance. I'm not an agent for any company, and basically, I'm an engineer. I'm not a chartered accountant. I'm not a BCom student. In fact, that is my strength. I bring the power of numbers and analysis, the love for numbers and analysis of numbers to money. So that is my strength. That is why it is using those kind of comfort with numbers that I have developed this particular formula called JK's 8% formula for financial wellness. That is me. I work with companies like Titan, where I have trained close to 1,200 employees of them, and LG Equipments, many L&T group companies, L&T Defense, L&T Infotech, Shobha developers in Bangalore. I've done training programs for as a service, actually, for pro bono, not charged, for all the defense services. I've trained officers of Air Force, Navy, Central Industrial Security Force. I've trained till now over 10,000 employees of different organizations.
Karthi, any changes based on the ages and everything?
Yes, it will change. So that is where the tweaking needs to be done. So there will be definitely some changes. Because again, as you, this 8% formula, if somebody who's 50 is only now starting to implement this 8% formula, then for their retirement, they definitely need to contribute something more. But that can be managed by bringing in some of their existing surplus to their retirement. That will help. So because they have another 8 years to retire, but they cannot start with a SIP at that moment, because the corpus that you need to create will be significantly high. So just by starting with a monthly investment at the age of 80, you cannot reach your, at the age of 50, you cannot reach your retirement goal by the time you reach your 58 or 60. So you need to bring in some of your existing corpus into that. So that can come from your, maybe your EPF, some of your deposits that you've made, maybe some of your old endowment plan is getting matured. So that money can be invested here. So there we'll have to work out on the customization there. So that is where the implementation part comes in.
So, Karthi, one more point is, like, example, you take any age old, but the inflation as well as the expenses which is going to be next 20 years, are you taking care of also the healthcare expenses? Though everyone has a health insurance, there will be, say, example, if he is there with a heart disease, for survival every month he has to take some medicines which cost you, again, it may cost even to 2,000 rupees, 5,000 rupees per month.
Yes, yes.
And it's all the precautions test.
It is taken care of in the 8% formula. So that's where your tweaking comes in. Your discretionary expenses come in. It is all taken care of in the JK's 8% formula. So as you age, what happens is your children-related expenses will come down, but your own health-related expenses goes up. That increases. So that is where the rebalancing comes up. My children leave my house, so their education, significant portion which I was spending on education and other things, that will come down, which I can modify it into other expenses at that point in time. It's not only health, but I've spent all my years for serving other people. When do I look at the world? Why not I go for a world tour? Why should I not go for a world tour? So all those things are what you can look at post the 50 maybe. Those are the balances that we can look at when based on your goals, basically. So again, I don't fix a formula saying this is what you need to do. No, it is based on your own goals. So every family will have its own goals. Every individual will have their own commitments also. It's not only the goals, the commitments also varies. So there are so many different things which would vary between people. Maybe they have a dependent parent. Why not have a dependent brother, a sister who needs to take care of a dependent brother? So these are situations that which are unique for different situations. I had one particular family where they had a physically unwell child, So the expenses for that child again was enormous to take care of that child, right from some prosthetics which had to be done and those kind of things also. So we can take care of all that within this framework actually.
Sure, Karthik.
Yeah, I'm just seeing this, Mr. Suresh, budget sheet. If I couldn't get you, Mr. Suresh. Wrongly classify the expense type. Okay, there may be a variation there. Okay, but yeah. So you're talking about the budget sheet. Today, for lack of time, I didn't go into that particular sheet. Let me open up that also for you now. Okay, this is a different format from what I had shared for you. But here again, you would find this category, which is Atyavasyam, Avasyam, and Anavasyam. So this is our effort to bring in Indian concepts and knowledges to the world. So why should we only be using BCG's matrices or Japanese 5S systems? Why not use Indian 3A systems, or as we can very beautifully put it in Tamil, 3A formula. So, so here I would categorize these based on different categories like this: Atyavasyam, Avasyam, and Anavasyam. So, how do these categories work, and is it the same for everyone? There is a formula, I mean, methodology or definition for this particular categorization also. Let me share that with you now. So what I call as Atyavasyam is something that is a need. We cannot live without this. In today's living, it's not only the roti kapada makan, but we are also talking about our mobile phones, your internet connections. Today, particularly, since we are all locked at home, internet connection is a basic need. You cannot have milk for half a day, but without internet connection, you cannot be there for even 5 minutes. So that is the situation now. And your mobile phones, all those will come under your Atyavasyam things. Mobile phones, I mean the mobile service provider, not the gadget itself. So these will come under your Atyavasyam categories today, or like your medical expenses and all those things. And I'm very sure we don't have to stretch ourselves to get these, to achieve what is there in the Atyavasyam category. You really don't have to struggle to reach that place, to get these things done. You definitely won't need a loan to get these Atyavasyam things fulfilled. But Avasyam category, yes, I do need it. Maybe we were talking about a grinder which was 2 liter when I went to that place, but I do find a 3 liter grinder which looks very much more appealing and all those things. Yes, but I didn't budget for it. Maybe 2,000, 3,000 rupees extra. Fine, yeah, let's go for it. You get it? So people in my house, they really do love dosa. So that 3,000 rupees one-time additional expense. So instead of a 5,000 rupees wet grinder, I bought a 8,000 rupees wet grinder. Fine, chalega. It didn't stretch you too much. But it is something that I use on a regular basis. I do want it. I kind of use it on a regular basis. That is an Avasyam category. Yes, it doesn't stretch me, but I use it regularly. So that is what defines the Avasyam. I use it for me. I use it for my family. So then that is the Avasyam category. The Anavasyam or unwanted thing is where I do stretch myself, but I actually didn't buy it for me. Typical, I mean, the Avasyam category, maybe I went there to buy a 35-inch TV, I see a 40-inch TV, fine, let's buy it here. So, but Going in for a 55-inch TV at that particular point where I had budgeted for a 35 is a big stretch for me because I cannot just manage it very comfortably. I definitely need to take up a loan which maybe is going to last me for the next 2 years and things like that. And my office timing is in such a way that I land at home only at 8 o'clock at night after an hour of driving, and I'm so tired that I just go to sleep. So for whom did you buy this TV? Are you using it on a daily basis? Do you love viewing your movies or your things? So do you love really watching those things? How much time do you spend on your living room with that TV? If it is very less, then that 55-inch TV you didn't buy for yourself, you bought it for somebody else. It could be your colleague, it could be your neighbor, it could be your brother-in-law who has bought a 55-inch TV. That is what I call as the third R, which is the anavasya. You didn't buy it for you. You didn't buy it because you are using it regularly. No, I bought it for somebody else. So that is how you classify these three things in your budget sheet. That will give you good surplus at any point in time. I've seen families where we have brought out even up to that is 30% savings from anavasya alone, and aggressively cut down those anavasya expenses. That is the anavasyam expenses. I would say even in a frugal family, we will definitely be able to spare at least 8% of your budget if you do the budgeting sheet properly. Just from this anavasyam, you don't have to go into anything else. There are highly technical things that we can work on also when we are going in for implementation. I had one client where they were spending something like 10 to 12,000 rupees on supplements, because one particular supplement did help a dependent mom who was something like 70 years old with her knee pain. So it helped her. So they went into adding more and more supplements for all the people in the family. So it was really huge at some point in time. So when we went into reviewing this and all that, so they changed their food habits and other things. Today, close to 7,000 rupees is savings from that budget alone. Yes, even today they do go in for some of those supplements, but not such holistic. It won't be like a carpet bomb in terms of those supplements. Just some lifestyle changes and going in with sprouted grams and all those things. So saving close to 1 lakh rupees on a yearly basis for this particular client. Those things we can look at when we are looking at our implementation part.
One quick example that comes to my mind in terms of anavasyam expenses that JK is mentioning are the gadgets that young folks use, and even older folks seem to use these days. So, for example, an iPhone which is very expensive, or a very expensive cell phone with multiple features, which is over 30,000, 40,000. Which, if you are not able to save much and get it, if you need to take a loan for it, that definitely is an anavasyam category.
Very true. So, Ms. Palaksha, this liquidity is where we are talking about something which I can access immediately. So there can be a case where I lock up all my assets as real estate or other typical areas, and in case of an emergency, it may be some medical related emergencies, or where I want some cash for immediate use. We are not able to get this cash in hand, where I'm forced to sell some assets and things like that. And in such typical cases, the value of the asset drops significantly. So we need liquidity. So that is what we mean by liquidity. And typically what I advise for employed or even for business people is that we should have at least 6 months of our expenses as liquid funds kind of things. And liquid funds, maybe even not even mutual funds kind of things. Yes, you can look at mutual funds, but typically I would recommend a sweep-in account with your bank where your salary account is getting credited. If you're a business person, then a sweep-in account with your bank account itself as liquid cash, which you can quickly convert to cash.
So in fact, the sweep-in account for TMB, for example, gets about 6% interest, which in today's age it is a pretty good interest to have compared to the savings accounts, which are giving about 3%. So that's the sweep-in account that JK is talking about. And TMB is, of course, Tamil Nadu Mercantile Bank.
Mercantile Bank.
Those other banks also have similar accounts.
So typically, sweep-in accounts will give at least 1% more than your savings account interest. Or sometimes, like TMB, maybe 1.5%, 2% even more than your savings bank deposit. So idea is not to make money out of it, but for the peace of mind. That is the financial wellness part. Not all your money will be earning you should be in the investment part. There is other parts which you need to which you need for liquidity and other things. So ultimately, I'm looking at peace of mind, joy to achieve the goals. Fine. So if there's any other queries, so fine. I think we can we wind up the session now, Ganeshji? I think I have addressed all the queries here. Okay, sure. There's one here: health insurance policies for whole family who don't have their employees backup. Okay, fine. We can look at that. In fact, today there are plans which are offering companies which are offering very high covers at very reasonable prices, Ms. Palaksha. Today there are plans which go up to 1 crore of rupees of cover also for family covers, floater covers and things like
that. Typically for 4 people, how much the insurance will be, sir?
I would say at least something like 25 lakhs minimum. And considering COVID times, I would say if you are 4 people, then at least 50 lakhs. Because COVID admission today costs at least 40,000 rupees per day. So we are, if you are talking about for 14 to 15 days of admission, then we are talking about nothing less than 6 lakhs rupees for a person if there is an admission. So we are talking about somewhere around 24 lakhs minimum for the family. But in case there is any complications related to that, then we need something more. So anywhere from 30 lakhs to 50 lakhs of basic cover. I mean, of overall cover. You don't need everything as a basic cover. Then your cost goes up. So we can look at some basic cover, maybe a floater for 10 lakhs, something like that. And then go in for a top-up plan, which will go from 5 lakhs to 50 lakhs, which will be pretty cost-effective. So each person can take 5 lakhs to 10 lakhs or 5 lakhs to 15 lakhs as top-up cover. And then it becomes an economical option.
In fact, when JK mentioned these figures, they sounded very, very big to me. But in fact, I am also going with my company's corporate plan. I can go up to a maximum of 8 lakhs, and then I am taking on top of it similar to what JK is suggesting. So with his consulting, I am doing what he is recommending, and the reason why I'm doing that, like JK said, for COVID or otherwise, even the Indian Medical Association for a day is recommending 30 to 40,000 if you are admitted to a good private hospital, a B-class private hospital, costing that much, and it would for a person it would cost something like 4 to 6 lakhs. So that is also the reason why we need to take not only for COVID, for any other emergencies as well. any operations or emergencies.
Thank you, Mr. Ganesh, for sharing your personal details too. In fact, there is one IRDA research report. IRDA is Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India, IRDAI. So where they are saying for a 40-year-old person who has not been admitted in a hospital for even a single day for any admission for 24 hours, which is a single day this thing, the maximum expense that this person would have done for normal illnesses, where he's there as an outpatient treatment alone, this cost does not exceed 10,000 rupees in that lifetime. Would you believe it? If you're just going for that Amrutanjan, Iodex and those kind of things, or your paracetamol injections, kind of painkiller injections and those kind of things, for a doctor, your including medications, your cost would not have exceeded for a 40-year-old person 10,000 rupees. But one day in an ICU costs you 50,000 rupees. This is a research report from IRDAI. So that is where we need to be very cautious when we are looking at the health insurance plans. This awareness is not there. And another IRDAI report says that 78% of people who have been admitted in hospitals, they are forced to sell their assets. They are counting, closing off fixed deposits, going in for a jewel loan, selling off or keeping a land on mortgage, these things as selling of assets. That is the situation for India. 78%. That's where we need to be smart and take up higher cover in our health insurance plans. Any other queries?
Have you already given that final the feedback form?
Yeah, I'll maybe post it once more.
Oh, okay.
So you can leave your feedback in this form if you have not done already.
Really raise the one thing to government, sir.
I'm sorry, I couldn't get you.
Sir, government is taking, squeezing a lot of money from the middle class and upper. Whereas they don't do any help for these two categories in terms of health insurance or any shops, any freebies, everything goes to lower class. Whether you take
That's a really big pain point that you have raised actually.
No, this is, if you take even a health scheme of the Pradhan Mantri, what was that?
Yeah.
Everything goes to lower class. So
Correct.
what for they take all the tax from us and then put everything into difficulty?
Anyway, this is
kind of
not the
partiality.
right forum for discussing that anyway.
No, sir, you are the right person to convey to government. You are there in the, let's say you are the messenger for the government.
Okay. Yeah.
This is too much, sir, really. For middle class is suffering like anything.
That's true.
So why can't the
idea is that, see, rather than, the way I would look at it is, yes, we do need to take it up in the right forum, as you have rightly said. I mean, if there is a chance, I will definitely take it up.
No, sir. Government
It is our duty also to find a forum actually to represent this. That is also our duty.
Yes,
But we also need to take care of what we need to do. So that is where I'm coming to actually.
no, sir.
Other
Government
than,
is allowing.
See,
No,
many
one
of
thing.
these schemes and other things, they were also created in good faith and this thing. But the times are changing. EPF, for that matter, it has been created in good faith long time ago. But if you ask me, is EPF or VPF a right plan for in today's situation? Answer is no. So it is definitely no, actually. So many of my participants who have been heavily contributing to VPF, they've stopped that and taken care of their housing loan, which was a very smart move. So, but those are kind of legacy things which are going on, or for that matter, your endowment insurance plans. The middle class is the one who's heavily putting their money into all the endowment plans of the world.
Yes,
So
sir, yes.
where is the education for that? So this is my opportunity where I'm trying to bring that awareness and trying to educate it. And my goal, my mission that I've taken upon myself is to ensure that these messages reach at least 1 million families. And I'm really aggressive on that. And thanks to people like Mr. Ganesh, who have been supporting me in a very positive front. I'm sure in my lifetime, within the next 5 to 10 years, in fact, I will be reaching this 1 million target, in fact. So that is how I'm contributing. But as you mentioned, Mr. Palaksha, I'll try to look at this. We'll take it up in whichever forum that I get.
When government is talking about EPF, why can't they talk about universal health insurance? Why can't they allocate some part of money as a compulsory, both from the employee and employer?
That thought is already there. In fact, IRDA is already thinking about in those lines. In fact, that thought has already come.
Yes,
those discussions are already happening.
They should have done long time back, sir.
That is fine, but at least now somebody is discussing. No, that is what we'll have to look at. IRDA is already on that, sir.
No, if you take all the government banks, in fact, government why is not coming forward for the health insurance at all? The SBI, they're not doing good. They have this scheme. Recently they started, but they're not doing good. Health insurance.
It depends. Anyway.
Only United India insurance in government. The rest, everything, all private players. They're milking money.
Anyway, your point noted.
Yes.
Yes.
And the moment you say you have health insurance, immediately the corporate hospitals, they'll double or triple the amount bill.
Yeah, that is another thing that I advise all my clients is that in case, that is where that liquidity again comes up. In case it is a minor requirement and you can pay it from hand. In fact, I advise all my clients not to take up a cashless facility. You pay it from hand and then claim it from the insurance company. That way your insurance stays with you. That is something that I advise at all times. Otherwise, you go for a toss. Many of these hospitals have been doing that. In fact, insurance companies are also penalizing these hospitals which are doing this in a preposterous way, kind of things.
Yes, sir.
Any other queries related to discussion that we have had today?
Really wonderful session, sir. It's eye-opener for many of us.
Thank you. I appreciate your.
So you are basically from which city, sir?
Coimbatore. I'm in Coimbatore.
Okay. I am from Tanjavur, sir.
Okay, fine. Okay. Nice to meet you, Palaksha.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
So we are already exceeding our time by 30 minutes. So in case there is no other question, I think we'll close for now. Thank you very much all for participating in today's session. It was a very exciting session because we are today releasing Golden Nest for all of you today. That itself is a big milestone for us, team at Financial Wellness. So that is a happy thing. And thanks to Mr. Ganesh for supporting us, supporting me personally for all your feedback, participation today, and sharing your personal plans and implementation status also. So that adds a lot to the participants' confidence, and they know what we are saying is what we are implementing. That definitely adds a lot of value. Thanks a lot for all the logistics and this thing also. Thanks a lot, everyone. I hope you would have loved the session today. And thanks. And I would love to support you, be the power boat to take you on the journey towards financial wellness. Best wishes. And good night.
Good night.
Yes, take care. Great.
I'll need to stop the recording.